First question is, are you as a candidate in favor of MWBE goals? If so, then what changes would you bring to the city of Houston? And if not, then where do you stand on business opportunity for MWBE with the city of Houston?
I do favor them. This is the most diverse city in the country. We are far more diverse than even the city of New York. I think that diversity needs to be seen in the employment workforce of the city of Houston, as well as the business opportunities that go out from the city of Houston. So I strongly support it. I just think that it needs to be enforced, and we need to hold companies who have been abusing it and acting like they can't find good, capable minority firms. We need to hold their feet to the fire.
I'm also for it. I support it, but my main concern as your mayor in 2016 is to make sure that minorities get business contracts. I think we lost focus there. Why minorities are not getting the contracts? We need to kind of look at the amendment program. We need to look at the qualification and make sure that we reach out to our minorities and give them the business contract. And I'm for mixed income. I'm for diversity as well, as your mayor.
Thank you. I do support enforcement of this rule. It should be more than just a rule, but it should certainly be enforced. But we have to bring economic development to the city. We've got to bring good jobs. We've got to bring livable wages here. And the city contracting system needs to look like our city. It needs to be fair and across the board and transparent and no backroom deals anymore. We need to break all of this up and return this city to the people.
Thank you. And for this round of reminder, it's 30 seconds, Mr. King.
I'm in favor of MWBE outreach. Some of you may know that I ran for a number of years at a firm called Linebarger. And for every year I was there, we won the State Bar's award for the most MWBE outreach and the most diversity in our subcontractors. And we did it, frankly, because we were required to initially in the city contracts. But what we ultimately learned, it was really good business because we found a lot of people that were anxious to work and made a big contribution. So I'm a big believer in the program.
I'm a strong supporter of the MWBE ordinance. In fact, I was the city attorney for the city of Houston who actually drafted and amended that ordinance and defended it in a court of law, so I support it. But I support it in two ways. Not simply that minorities always have to be subcontractors, but how about if we also have them as prime contractors and city contractors? I believe that we need to have a goal where minority and women-owned businesses actually participate as primes, not always as subs.
Mr. Hall was looking at my notes because I was the chair of the MWBE committee on city council when I served you on city council, but I agree with exactly what he said. We want to make sure that there's opportunity for businesses who want to participate in city contracts, but I don't want any business to stay small. I want them to grow. I want them to be prime contracts. I want them to bring economic empowerment back to the community. Thank you.
I'll just describe how I handle MWBE, what I do with my own business. The last project that I got for the city of Houston as Costello Wing, my partner and firm, who had 45% of the business, was an MWBE. And when you added on the other subs that we had as part of our team, over 60% of that contract was actually other consulting firms. So I fully support the program. I think we have to have accountability, though, for companies who don't comply with our goals. And that's the challenge that we're going to have moving forward, is making sure that we hold them accountable.
Many in this room will remember 1997 when a very serious effort was mounted to do away with the city's affirmative action program. It's my first year as a member of the Houston City Council, and one of my proudest moments was standing with Mayor Bob Lanier to fight back that challenge and protecting the city's affirmative action program. If you believe, like I do, that the diversity of our city is its greatest strength, then you work to make sure that everybody has a place at the table.
And if you are elected, what, if any, changes do you think need to be made to address the City of Houston pension? Starting with Mr. Turner. 30 seconds.
Well, number one, you cannot balance a budget on the back of working men and working women. That's number one. Number two, it's just not a pension that's creating a problem. When we dealt with the employee retirement system in this legislative session, costing the state $500 million a year, an unfunded liability of $7.5 billion, it was myself and two others that crafted the program that made that system actuarially sound. And as a result of that, even the employees were on board with it. There's a way to do it, but you're not going to be able to do it just by balancing the budget on the back of the core committee.
As your mayor, I would not even touch hardworking people money. Why touch it? Again, we can create wealth somewhere else. Why go after hard-earned working money for their families? Why touch their benefit? It's their benefit. They work hard for it, they earn it, let them keep it as your mayor.
This is, it's a very complex issue, pensions. But as I said earlier, when you find yourself in a hole and you want to get out, the first thing you do is stop digging. We need to bond out our liabilities, pay the debt that's owed, and make a deal moving forward, not renegotiate for the past. That's the same as going into a restaurant, eating a burger and fries, and then don't want to pay for the fries because it didn't taste good. We're not going to do that to the people of this city.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Well, I had more, but that's a...
It
was funny. It was funny.
Well, as most of you know, I've written about this topic very extensively in my Chronicle column. I too do not favor taking away benefits that have currently been earned. A deal's a deal, and we've got to honor those promises. But if we continue to make these promises to future employees, it will undermine the stability of the City of Houston's finances and of the pension plans themselves. By 2020, it will take 50% of all the property taxes that we pay just to fund the pensions. That is not a sustainable system.
This is one of the more difficult issues that the next mayor will have to deal with. There are 4 solutions to address it. One is to tie the risk to market performance. Right now we don't. The city is acting as an insurer of the benefits. Number 2 is to adopt a defined contribution plan where we know that our fixed contributions are what they are. Number 3 is to reassess TERS and the monies that are being trapped over in TERS right now as opposed to being distributed among the city. And then when death is a part of your resume, we are not going to take away the benefits of city employees.
Mr. Garcia.
As the only retiree on this panel, I want to make sure that I don't get my next pension check that says, please don't deposit for another 90 days. And so we have to make sure to make tough decisions, to work with our employees, to make sure that their pension accounts are sound. But it is going to require tough decisions. The questions earlier about infrastructure and other things that the community is needing, it's all tied together. And so we have to be able to create a conversation at the table that encourages everyone to participate in the process.
Councilmember Costello.
Thank you. We need local control of our pension systems. We are the employer. We should define the benefit package. Today, for every dollar you spend, we spend 31 cents in pensions. In 15 years, for every dollar that we spend in salary costs, we're going to spend $1 in pension systems. So your entire tax bill, if we do nothing, will pay for pensions only. That's not an option. We have to make hard decisions. Hard decisions require leadership, and I'm the person that I believe that needs to get that done, not the people in Austin.
Well, we all want to make sure that Adrian can stay retired, that's for sure. Let me tell you what I find very disingenuous is trying to lead people to believe that as mayor you can simply step into that office and cram a solution down the throats of the firefighters. You can't. You don't have that power. It rests in Austin. And so what you better be prepared to do is employ a large degree of diplomacy and try to work with the firefighters to find a solution going forward.